what is RCM? So the first thing is the acronym RCM. It's reliability centered maintenance, just so that we're clear on where this is coming from. And reliability centered maintenance was a result of a large body of research carried out in the 1960s. So it's been going on for a wee while. Now, that research was carried out by civil aviation organizations as a result of several serious incidents that occurred. However, the term reliability centered maintenance was first used by a couple of characters, Nolan Heap, and they published a seminal document really on reliability centered maintenance in the 1970s. Since then, it's been adopted widely as a core maintenance improvement method, and it's been adapted for use in inspection. For example, risk-based inspection is largely an RCM-based technique, and instrumentation assessment, and people may have heard of safety instrument levels, SIL or SIF, and those are reliability techniques as well. So fundamentally, it's a risk-based technique, and it's used to establish safe and productive levels of maintenance. And the technique itself looks at the function of an item of equipment. It looks at functional failures. In other words, how a piece of equipment could fail, and that could be failure to operate on demand, for example. It could be failure to stop, or it could be failure to start, and there are a number of different functional failures that could occur. Once you've established what the functional failure is, you can then start to look at what the failure modes are, and the failure modes also include things like failure characteristics. So a failure mode is sort of a component failure itself, so it could be cracked or it could be corroded and degraded in some way to prevent the actual piece of equipment working. So the next part of the equation is really looking at the effects and then the consequences of the failure. And that's really where the linkage comes between the function and the failure modes, is because different items of equipment fail in different ways, but they also can have quite significant consequences. The main thing about reliability centered maintenance is whether or not you can actually predict that failure occurring. I think you probably would recognize that some items of equipment, in particular mechanical components, tend to wear out, so they have a predicted pattern towards wearing out. You could say, well, a tire is probably a classic example of a wear out characteristic, and you can by and large predict when a tire is going to wear to a level at which you would then replace it. So you can predict it, but also you can see it. So the RCM technique looks at the visible signs of degradation, but it also looks at how long it will take before it deteriorates to a stage that you do need to replace it. Other aspects of RCM are looking for hidden failures and random failures. Electrical components typically fail randomly. We all know that, for instance, a TV has got a chip in it that causes it to fail quite randomly, so that you go and buy another one. And those types of failures, random and hidden failures, if they occur on safety devices, you need to really start to focus in. And that's where things, and I mentioned safety integrity levels and safety integrity functions come in, is that, if it's a hidden and a random failure, you then need to start having standby equipment, or you need to have voting patterns installed. That's reliability centered maintenance.